Welcome. Today we're going to be unboxing 85 Afghanistan Graveyard of Empires by Mark H. Walker from his Squad Battle series. These games are completely card-driven, and the series includes 65 Jungles of Vietnam, and then will include, coming out soon, 95 The Years of Sorrow, which chronicles the years following the fall of the Berlin Wall. 85 just started shipping to Kickstarters this past week. In the description below, I'm going to link 85 in our Flying Pig store so that you can get a copy for yourself. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Mentioned before, 85 and the whole squad battle system is totally card driven. So when you open the box, you're probably first going to notice a stack of cards, but I want to start with the rule book. If you played 65 Jungles of Vietnam or even Night of Man, you're going to be familiar with a lot of the concepts that I'm going to discuss. The cool thing about this rule book is if you have played any of the others of the squad battle series from Mark H. Walker, any differences between this game and the games that you've played in the past are actually going to be in blue, which really makes learning the game a lot faster. The rulebook is really clear and clean and easy to read. The iconography and the pictures inside add to the instruction and to the learning process of this game and don't detract or clutter as some rulebooks do. I appreciate on the first page, page 2 of the rules, having the unit counters explained there. Another aspect of this game, if you're familiar with the Squad Battle series, is the units have different powers and abilities listed on their counters. I'll show you later in this video. And what I really like is that on the back of the rule book, you have all of the powers listed here, and then you have all of the abilities. And that just creates a faster gameplay because you don't have to go to the rule book, find what page they're on. They're just right here on the back. So it's almost like a third player aid card for these powers and abilities. And that's just one of the many aspects of this design that Mark H. Walker did that makes this game a lot faster to play. So next, let's quickly talk about the PAC that comes. You get 2 cards. You get the actual player aid card here. So combat is actually resolved through drawing cards in the deck, but the PAC does include what colors you will see on the cards and how they apply to different attacks and different types of attacks that happen in the game. So it's a really great reference for that. On the back, you also have an in-depth terrain effects chart, as you can see. And then the other card that you get is a sequence of play, which yet again just speeds up gameplay to have these resources on the table beside you, and a nice turn tracker. So like I said, between this PAC, the sequence of play, and then having the back of the rules out and available beside the gaming board, it speeds up gameplay even more. All right, so let's get into the maps. There are 5 maps in 85. I'm showing all 5 of these folded in half, actually. So if I unfold them, each map unfolds like this with this gorgeous desert terrain art. And all the triangles on there are just another factor that enhances the ease of play to this game. But they mark the 4 different levels of height in this game. Any unmarked hexes or half hexes, because half hexes are played in this game, they are level 0. And then level 1 is a green triangle. You can see here. Level 2 is a bisque triangle. You can see here. And then level 3 is a red triangle. Like I said, that iconography just makes the game play a little faster so that you don't have to constantly be flipping through the rule book to see what the different heights are. You can just see the different ones that are clearly marked and how that is going to affect line of sight. All right, so like I said, this game and all the other squad battles games are card driven. So I went ahead and separated the 3 different stacks of cards. One you have are the bonus victory conditions. These are going to be determined by the scenario. If you're able to beat one or achieve one in a scenario, you can get extra victory points. For example, in the scenario Air Assault, players who complete their own bonus victory condition get an additional 4 victory points. I'll give you an example. One of them says, exit a leg unit off the opponent's board edge. You get twice the victory points. Another one, destroy an enemy vehicle using assault combat. That's pretty cool. Obviously not easy to do. Eliminate an enemy sniper, not Soviet rifle with marksman power. That just adds a little bit of extra fun and spice to the game. In addition, we have these event cards. So the event cards don't have any information on them except for it says event 1, 2, 3, etc. Back the cards are just plain 85. But what happens here is in each scenario, there are 8 scenarios total in this game. There are, depending on the scenario, some of them don't call for events. These will actually be shuffled into the action card deck. And when you replenish your hand, not when you're resolving combat, but when you're actually drawing cards to replenish your hand, if you were to draw an event card, it would trigger something in the scenario. So I wanted to give you an example of an event card. So in this scenario, if you were to draw the event card that says 1 on it, you would have the Mujihadeen boldness, remove any administrative marker from 2 Mujahideen units and conduct a fast move with them. So this just adds to the, some of the randomness and some of the chaos of the different scenarios. And it's a really fun, you never know when it's going to happen, gameplay that's been added to 85 that wasn't in 65. Like I said, 85 is completely card driven. There are no dice. So in order for this to be possible, the real lifeblood of this game is this deck of action cards. Players will have a hand of cards that they use to take any action that they want, depending on what's on the card. So if you want to fire with an eligible unit, you need a fire card. On the cards, there are different colors to let players know when and how they can use the cards. There are green, red, and gold. Here is a red. A red is used as a reaction. Green are used as actions, and yellow are used as support cards. So here's a yellow aimed shot. It's used with vehicles, +2 to firer's targeting modifier, versus leg, ignore terrain, play in addition to fire only. So that's telling you that this aimed shot can only be played in support with a fire card, or with a fire action that's on the card. With the green, that is your action. So for example, here we have fast move 1 hex of eligible units and add 1 to units movement factor. These cards will also be used to determine initiative using the numbers in the bottom. Another aspect to this deck is going to be the end turns. Drawing the end turns will end the turn. And it's fun because they're shuffled into the deck. So in addition to not knowing events that are going to pop up or what cards you're going to draw, you don't know when the turn is really going to end. These end turns could be at the bottom half of the deck, and you could have a really long turn. They could be at the beginning of the deck, and then suddenly you've got a really short turn. There are different ways to end the turn. In addition to drawing end turns, both players can choose to pass, depending on what the situation is on the board as well. And lastly, we have 4 sheets of counters that come in this game. The Mujahideen are in green, and the Soviets are in red. Here are some of the larger units. Beautiful art. And I love how big the counters are because you get so much more information on the counter, and it makes the gameplay so much faster because you're not constantly referring to the rule book to see what each teeny symbol means. In addition to units, you obviously have a sheet of admin markers. I really like the fortifications in this game. Here's a bunker, for example. I'll pop one out. With any card, you get a second wind. The second wind is going to remove a fire or a move marker from an eligible unit. So I mentioned powers and abilities earlier in this video, and I wanted to go ahead and point these out to you so that you understand on the counter. I really enjoy having these explained on the back of the rule book for reference. It makes the gameplay so much faster. So here in the center of the bottom of a unit, not all of them, you have a power listed. This power is only activated when you play a card that has power on it. On the left side, you have what are called abilities. This is the assault ability. And these are going to always be there. This is just an ability that the unit has. So like I said, that dagger is right here for the ability. You have assault and assault plus. This unit is capable of initiating assault combat, HEF of 1 for defense. Assault plus adds 1 HEF to assault combat. So that's if you have that dagger with the plus sign beside it. The powers are going to be a little bit more powerful, but you have to have a card with that power icon on it. So in the example that I just used, we have that power icon right there. And if we look on the back, it's intensifier, fire, add 1 HEF to the ranged attack. And there are all kinds of other powers: leadership, marksman, aggressive, prep fire, brutal. The power card is played as if it is a support card. Play on unit executing assault combat. If the enemy is forced to retreat, it is eliminated instead. There's also a mortar power. So these are a lot stronger than the abilities, and it's a lot of fun to play. Thanks again for watching this video. I have linked in the description below a link to the Flying Pig Games store so that you can pick up a copy of 85. Like I said, it started shipping last week, so hopefully you'll be able to get your game pretty soon. In addition, 85, there is also the capability to play it solitaire with an expansion called Alone in the Mountains, which we also have in the Flying Pig Games store. Thanks again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like so you can stay up to date on all things Flying Pig Games. Thanks.